Hey guys, we are back, and today we are going to be doing some long anticipated testing. The community is extremely excited about the new reworks for Hellfire Club, and I know this because I have had a ton of people reach out to me wanting to know whether or not OG Emma Frost and Madelyne will work for Professor X. I don't know, you don't know, but we're about to find out. Hope you guys are having an awesome Wednesday. I'm super excited to get in here and do some testing. So let's find out together whether or not they're going to work. We're going to try several different team comps. Now, if you guys know me at all, which I think you probably do, then you know that we are absolutely going to jump in here and do some testing with none other than our good buddies, Cabal, and Emma Frost and Madelyne. All right, so we've got Emma Frost at a healer. We've got our Cabal, and we've got Madelyne, and Madelyne is a raider. Okay, I don't know whether or not I'm going to end up keeping her at a raider. We're going to have to find out when the rest of the team releases, but that's what we're going to do for now. So we're going to jump in here and we're going to try this out on the last two nodes. And then we're going to try some other team comps out as well. I'm very excited. Emma Frost is literally the first rework that we have had come to the game since I've been playing that I actually already had at 3 diamond. Every other rework that's come out, I've had to bring up from level 1. So this is super exciting for me, and if it's exciting for me, I know it's exciting for a lot of you guys out there. All right, so let's get in here right out of the gate. All right. Blade's trying to ruin our day. Okay. Let's go ahead and get in here and get to going on the other side. All right, very good. All right, so I'm not super familiar with Madelyne, so we're going to kind of go over her kit just shortly while we're doing this. Attack all enemies for 250% damage. Apply defense down for 2 turns. Apply offense down for 2 turns to brawlers. Disrupted for 2 turns to protectors and controllers. Apply ability block for 1 turn to all protector enemies and 2 turns to all support. All right, so let's go ahead and use her ultimate. She hits like a truck. And by the way, just so you know, because I did not go over it, she is also 3 diamonds. I have taken her up over the course of the last 2 days to 3 diamonds. So just to kind of let you know where she's setting. All right, let's go ahead and get in here with Patriot Special. All right, we're going to go ahead and save his special and his ultimate for the next wave. And same thing here with Leader. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and get some barrier out there. We can certainly deal with that. All right, what does Madelyne's ultimate do? Flip 3 positive effects on primary target. Attack primary target for 500% damage. Prolong the duration of all negative effects. The rest is irrelevant because we do not have any war buffs. So we're going to go ahead and go after Blade. Yeah, we'll take that damage for sure. Let's go ahead and get rid of Blade. All right, now we're going to go ahead and use Namor's ultimate. That should get rid of both. And yeah, we're definitely on the downhill slope now. Let's see. Clear all charge. Clear all positive effects from all enemies. Apply blind to the primary target. Not that it really matters, but let's go ahead and do that. All right. Definitely made light work of that node. Let's see how they do on the final node with Shadow King. All right, let's get in here now. Okay. Let's get rolling and see how this goes. Let me know in the comments, guys. Are you guys super excited for Hellfire Club? Because I certainly am. I'm extremely excited for them to come out. I hope this is definitely a thing to come where some of our new teams, tunes are going to be getting crossover characteristics for other teams. That will be awesome. All right, let's get in here with Patriots Special right out of the gate. Let's get some defense down. All right. Let's get in here with the rewind. Everyone's got vulnerable, so we should be backing everybody up. Okay. Let's go ahead and see if we can get rid of Shadow King now. There he goes. Very good. Okay, this is going to hit everyone. Hopefully this will kill everyone. Yeah. Madelyne does not mess around. She hits fairly hard. All right, and yeah. I can definitely say that Team Comp walks through this without a doubt. All right. Let's try something else and see how that works. I know a lot of people have wanted to. Let's bring. Let's try Hood, Omega Red, and LDS. All right. Let's see how this goes. Now, my Omega Red is 3 diamonds. Hood is also 3 diamonds. So I will probably not use their ultimates at all to kind of make it a little more realistic. To give you an idea of whether or not a little bit smaller Hood and Omega Red will be able to get through here. So we're going to stay away from using their ultimates. All right, and then we got Blade going. All right, so now we're going to get in here and get a big rewind there and probably kill several people. Okay. Let's go ahead and hit everyone with Madelyne. And we're going to go ahead and just use his basic for now. All right. Get rid of all those negative effects. Let's just go ahead and use his basic. No sense in wasting his special. All right. Same thing. Let's go ahead and use our basic here. And save the other abilities for the next wave that's going to be dropping in. Okay. Now let's go ahead and go after Oath here. All right, we're going to stay away from Hood's ultimate and just use his special over here. Try to get ability block on Blade. All right, and now we're going to go ahead and use his special. We're going to stay away from his ultimate as well. Okay. See if we can get blind on Blade. Very good. And that was pretty easy as well. I don't know how the next node's going to go, but we'll find out together. All right, let's jump in here and see how this works in here as well. All right, let's go ahead and get the rewind here in the middle. Okay, we really need to try to get ability block on Emma if possible. Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and use his special now. Okay, let's go ahead and hit everybody with Madelyne's ultimate. I think we're going to lose Hood. Okay. Let's try that again. We'll try just going straight after Shadow King and seeing if that will, if we can get rid of him before he takes a turn, we might be good to go there. Okay. Well, at least Shadow King went before the Ancient Ones, so he wasn't on his ultimate, but I'm afraid the Ancient Ones going back to back are probably going to kill somebody here. Yeah, Hood's gone. Okay. Let's go ahead and swap out Hood. I had a feeling it might struggle there a little bit because Hood does not do nearly enough damage. But I have had several people asking me to try this team comp because although I don't see a whole lot of value in Taskmaster at G20, a lot of people who play War and love War get a lot of value out of Taskmaster at G20. So we're going to try him in here. I've had 2 or 3 people ask me to try this team comp. So we're going to try this and see if it will work. I think we've come to the realization that anything that will work on this node will work on the previous node. So we're going to bypass that for the rest of these team comps. All right. And I think this may work because Taskmaster will put a blind out there on everyone. And that will make a big difference for us. Okay, and maybe it won't. Well, it seems like no matter what we do there, Shadow King is going to take a turn, so let's see if we can help ourselves. by getting rid of Emma. And then we'll probably be able to survive that. So we may put some focus on just killing Emma right out of the gate and seeing if this will work. All right. So now we're going to have to take the hits from the Ancient Ones and Shadow King, but we won't have Emma coming in behind them to wreck us. And Shadow King had slow, so we're good there. And he's gone. So that might be the route to go, taking out Emma first. But maybe not, because this might take out Madelyne. We're getting close. All right, we are not going to use his ultimate because it needs to be somewhat realistic, and with him being 3 diamond, that's not a realistic expectation for people to have. All right, we got blind on the other Ancient One, so let's go after this Ancient One, and she's gone. All right. And we got through it. However, that was a very edgy match, so we're going to try that one more time because I do not want to give you guys an indication that 1 out of every 50 times are you going to be able to get through that. So let's try it again. And make sure that that's going to work well for you before you put your G20 there. Okay, so let's go ahead and target Emma. All right, let's stay on Emma. All right, we got blind out there. Very good. We got slow. Okay. Very good. Yeah, see, that went way, way, way different than the first time. So let's try that again. All right. I want to make sure this team comp works for sure. I've had multiple people asking me for this. So if it takes us a couple times to get it right, it's worth the investment of time, because I know a lot of you guys are interested in this team comp. All right. Let's go ahead and get rid of her defense up. And then go ahead and use her ultimate there, and that will kill her. Very good. That's what we needed to do. Get rid of her defense up by using her basic. That was definitely the route to go there. And we're going to stay away from his ultimate. Okay. Now we need to deal with Cersei. Let's see if we can blind her. All right, very good. All right, that looks like that's the route to go. When we get to Emma's turn, we need to use her basic to eliminate Emma's defense up, which will get her killed the very next turn. So we're going to go in here one more time and see if it goes that smooth using that method instead, and then we're going to move on to the next team comp. Okay. Okay, so she still has defense up, so we're going to go ahead and use Emma's basic to get rid of that defense up, and then Madelyne should kill her. All right, she's gone. As soon as she took a turn, she is gone. Oh, this team comp is really funny. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but whenever Omega went, he did not hit Shadow King. Anyway, that will work. You're obviously going to have some RNG. You're going to have to get Omega to hit Shadow King as well whenever he goes after Emma, and then he will bleed out just like he did the time before. But we know that will work. We're going to jump in here and try the next team comp. All right. And here is the next team comp. I've had 2 or 3 people ask me about this team. Let's see what the next one. The next one is the 3-piece Orcus. So let's jump in here and try this real quick and see if this works. Pretty much every team comp has LDS in it because she's so cheap. Pretty much everybody wants to bring LDS. All right, and here we go. Let's get in here on Emma again. All right, let's see if we actually hit Shadow King this time. No, we did not, so we may run into problems. But let's see. Agatha has pretty good damage. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of his defense up, and let's go ahead and use Madelyne's ultimate. All right, hang in there, Emma. Okay. Let's go ahead and go after Shadow King here. And see if we can go ahead and get rid of him. All right, very good. He's gone. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can get rid of these negative effects. All right, let's go here with her ultimate. He's gone. All right, we lost Agatha, so let's try that again. I think we're going to target Shadow King with Omega because he keeps dodging Shadow King with his special, and it is important that we get all those bleeds and that damage on him. So let's try that again. But we also do not want Emma taking a turn, because our team has such heavy damage dealers that if she takes a turn, one of our team is going to kill somebody on our team. All right, let's get in here with Agatha's ultimate. Okay. Let's go ahead and get rid of her defense up, and then go ahead and use Madelyne's ultimate. That got rid of Emma. Okay, Shadow King is going to be on his basic. All right. Let's go ahead and get rid of him. Agatha over there smacking people around. Okay. There we go. There goes Ancient One. Okay. So yeah, we definitely need to go after Shadow King with Omega, so that we don't run the risk of him missing. Seems like the last 3 times that we've went after Emma with Omega's special, he's bouncing around and not hitting Shadow King. All right. So that worked well. Just got to make sure that you use Omega's special on Shadow King instead of Emma. All right. So now we are going to try Scientist Supreme and Nimrod with LDS, and let's see how it goes. This has also been requested, and our final team comp is going to be swapping out Scientist Supreme with Sentinel. That has also been requested by several viewers, so we're going to try this, then we're going to try that team comp, and hopefully we will have a few options for everyone out there. All right. Let's go ahead and get rid of Emma if we can here. There we go. There she goes. Shadow King is gone. That's perfect. All right. All right, let's go ahead and basic here. All right. So that team comp works extremely well. One thing to note, on the previous node with Blade and Oath, if you choose to go with this team comp, do not start out on that previous node with Night Stalkers and use Scientist Supreme's ultimate, because you will put slow on Blade and Oath. They will flip it to speed up and they will wipe you out. So just remember that. Do not use Scientist Supreme's ultimate on her first turn on this node right here, if you choose to go with that team comp. All right. Let's swap Scientist Supreme out for Sentinel. And let's see how this goes. This is the last requested team comp that we have, so we're going to try this, and it looks like the only team comp that we were not able to make work was Hood. but 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 6, however many it was, is definitely a positive. All right, let's get in here. Okay, let's just go ahead and get some barrier. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and use her special. All right, that got rid of Emma. All right, there goes Ancient One. Let's see if we can get rid of Shadow King. Perfect. Now we need to get rid of Ancient One as soon as possible. Okay, she's going. Let's go ahead and flip some of her positive effects. Get another Sentinel out here on the field, and she's gone. Okay, so that looks like that works absolutely fine as well. So I'm pretty satisfied with that. Looks like we've got some pretty good team comps that you can use Emma and Madelyne on Global Villain. So I hope you guys got some value out of that. I hope this was exciting for you. I know a lot of people have been really excited about the Emma Frost rework. I know I am. For the first time, I had a 3-diamond character that's a rework. So with that being said, guys, make sure you throw that thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so that you get notified as soon as we drop a video. And if you got some value out of this, make sure you share it with your friends and alliance mates. And until the next video, guys, stay positive and enjoy the game.